Right, dash cams, Evoque. Now I think we've done this before, but we've now got some more options. So I'm just gonna do this video and we'll probably take the other one down. But basically, right, dash cams, yeah. So weird stuff happens, doesn't it? Sheep run out in front of you, cue sheep. And you're like, whoa, what happened there? So we are gonna show you how to mount a dash cam in your Range Rover Evoque. And rather than having to run a power lead from the cigarette lighter or the USB supply up round the pillar and up to the top, there is actually power in the overhead console where your sunglass holder is and that's where you want to mount your dash cam. So we have devised a way of tapping into that, and Land Rover also do a loom. We haven't got that, we should have got so Land Rover do a dash cam kit as well. I think it's for the later Evoque though. And they do one that's tricky. So we've used the same concept as Land Rover, but we've made it specially for the Evoque 1. Now do be careful because they are different on different Land Rover vehicles. Even though the overhead consoles look the same and these connectors are the same, the pins that are used are different. So on the Evoque, we've got two looms, and this is the yellow wire loom as opposed to the red wire loom we are using. So we are going to sell this in 3 formats. So this is the DIY format. So this just gives you the connector that plugs in. You unplug your connector on your overhead console, and we'll show you how to do this. You plug this one in, you plug this one in, all the signals are going through to your overhead console. So you've got your microphone up there, you've got your SOS button, everything you need to power, you've got your interior lights and all that. All those signals go through this loom here. How many pins it's got, Tyler? It's like 20, isn't it? Yeah. Tyler knows and loves this loom well. So there we go. So that's going to go in. And then that gives you 3 wires. Now these 3 wires are earth, black. You're going to have to help me here, Tyler. Green is ignition live. Yeah. And the yellow is a pseudo battery live. So that's a permanent 12. Now most dash cams just need 2 wires. Just give me the earth and give me the ignition. So when you're driving, I record. Some flasher dash cams have parking modes, and it says I'm going to record when you're not driving. So I'm going to, and we've got that on the Tesla. We've got that Sentry mode. So basically, it uses some trickery. Sometimes it uses motion sensing and detects if someone's around and records some events for you. So depending which dash cam you get, you will need either 2 or 3 of these wires. Now, if you're only using 2, make sure you tape this one. Cut it, I would cut it short and tape it up so the end is not exposed, or you are going to have problems. You don't want to leave that exposed. But that's basically the solution that everyone can use, but you will need to do some cutting and soldering to attach your power supply. Now remember that this is giving you 12 volts here, well 12 to 14 depending if your engine's running. So, but most USB devices, obviously they use 5 volts. So you need some device to change your 12 volts to 5 volts. Am I making sense, Tyler? Yeah. I'm making this up. Right. So this is the next iteration. So this has got the loom and it's got the wires. So, but you'll notice it's only got 2 wires. Now you'll notice we're using the red loom, but as it's only the red and yellow wire that change and we're only using the 2, we don't need the battery positive on this one. This is just a record as you drive loom. It comes through, you'll need some sort of fuse protection. Again, you can buy this loom from us ready-made, or you can make this yourself if you buy this, but we recommend putting a fuse. And then this here is what you will need, some sort of thing here, and this takes 12 volts in this side and gives you 5 volts USB that side when you're driving. So your dash cam comes on and goes off as you drive and park up. So that is the thing. Now this is what we call a DC to DC converter. Now these vary in quality. Now there is a risk that with these you do get some electrical EMC, electromagnetic compatibility issues. So depending which ones you use and how much money you spend, you may get slight degradation on your DAB radio or something. This one we have used with reasonable success. We have not had many people have an issue. We have had one person who said he noticed some degradation on his DAB radio with that. So the branded kits, and this is what we go on to now and what we're going to use in this video, these branded kits are more expensive, but they've obviously got more technology inside their box. So this one we're going to use is the Garmin one. So this one here, and we are going to sell these pre-soldered and taped up, ready to go. So Tyler's soldered the wires together in the correct order. He's heat shrink them and then put tape around it all, so it's all nice and posh. And you'll notice there is an inline fuse, and that's part of the Garmin kit. You can make this yourself. You can buy the Garmin kit. You can buy one of these and you can wire them together.
Oh, I can do it for you.
Oh, Tyler can do it. Keep Tyler off the streets. Right, and then that goes to an output, a 90-degree angle, and that has got a little micro USB that the Garmin Mini camera we're going to have today. So again, and different manufacturers do different hardwire kits, so you could buy this loom and hardwire it. Now, we recommend hardwiring it together like this before you put it in your car. What you don't want to do is stick this in your car with your battery live and start poking around with these wires and soldering, because that could cause damage to the car electrics. It's better to get it all sorted in like this, ready to go before you get even into the car. And so we are going to do that now. So we are going to use this kit. Now, I should explain a bit more about this kit. So this kit has got parking mode. Now, parking mode, we all understand that. When you're not in your car, not driving your car, the dash cam can still work. But if you park it up at the airport, those days seem a long way away, don't they? Hopefully they're not far away. If you park it up at the airport for 2 weeks, then there is a risk that if there's a lot of activity, which you would expect in a car park, then it might record a lot and it will run your battery down. But inside this box, there is a sensor, and if your battery voltage goes, it's normally about 12.5 volts. If it starts going close to below 12, then this box will go, right, I'm out now, and it leaves you enough battery capacity for the car to start and everything. So it's sort of a battery protector as well as giving you the permanent live, right? And obviously you don't get that on this one. This is literally just that as you drive one. So that's why these parking mode hardwired dash cam kits are better. Right, we have no affiliation to Garmin. We just use them and found them good, so we sell them. Right, so what do we need for this installation? You need this kit, and you need to buy yourself a Garmin Mini. It comes with a little mount. We've already stuck that in the window. Bum, bum. You will need some tools, 10mm spanner to disconnect the battery. We're going to do that now. We recommend it. It's debatable, but we recommend it. You're going to need a trim tool just to flick that over a console down, and you are going to need a flexible ruler, because that is, unless you've got arms like Mr. Tickle or a small child, that will be what we need to thread it through. And we're going to tape the cable to that. Right, disconnect the battery while we're here, Tyler. Right, how are we going to, we've got our table in the way, our makeshift table. Show everyone on your exhaust, Tyler, while I move the box. Right, not for the Evoque though. Right, so we recommend disconnecting the negative terminal on the battery, which is the rear one. There is a battery cover. We've lost ours, haven't we, Tyler? But it's got 4 little screws like this that you just unturn and pop off. If you disconnect the positive, if you by chance happen to touch the positive onto this, you will get a big spark and the battery will explode. Whereas on the negative, if you touch any metalwork, you're fine. Which is why we do the negative, isn't it, Tyler? Right, and then we disconnect that little bolt. We only need to undo him a couple of turns, don't we? And then he should lift off then. And then we've got to just put him somewhere. So we'll just get a bit of plastic or something non-conductive, because I don't want to leave my hand here all the time, and just to stop it reconnecting. Right, we are going to use a cloth, which will be fine. And that will keep that off the negative terminal. Right, so we're all safe to jump in. Right, what do we need, Tyler? Let's grab our smash and grab, and let's join you again in the car. Right, here we go. We're sat in the car. So your overhead console may look slightly different. The later ones had a slimmer LED bar of lights rather than this big thing here. You may have a sunglass holder, you may have a sunroof thing, but they're basically all the same. And what you've got to do is there's a little spot, and it's just along here. And you can get in there, and you can, if you're lucky, maybe I'm going to have to go at the other end. It's going to fight me today, Tyler. This tool's not the sharpest tool in the box. This one, is it, Tyler? It's lost its mojo. Look at that! It has given up. Look at that. That's rubbish. Right, hold on. There you go. Right. He's going to let me with my new, slightly less effective tool. I'm making this look way harder than it is. Oh, there we go. That was a bit fierce. If you get an effective tool, and what you're trying to do is actually get in that little bit there, right? But you're trying you don't want to leave a mark too much on the headlining. And it's these spring clips that do it. And then you've got these two little pins at the front that dock into the front. So when you put it back, it's dock in the front and pull down. You've also got these sort of little clips here that grip on a bit as well on these little round pins here. So there we go. So it's not that complicated. Right, and then you'll see we've got this 20-way connector here. A little tab on there, squeeze him, pull him back. Don't stress the circuit board. It should come off without too much of a fight. Right, and there we go. And that's the thing with it's got your microphone for your phone system and your ultrasonic sensors. And again, you might have some SOS buttons or some call buttons and stuff. So, right, and there we go. Right, so we're all looking good. So we got that out. Now, what we've got to do now is, am I doing all right, Tyler? Yeah. Right. So we have got our new loom to put in. We're not worried about that. Let's thread through this. So what our objective now we have mounted this already. Now do be careful when you mount it. You might want to power up the camera first and use the app to see because what you don't want to do is stick this on, then have your camera and find out all you can see or half your picture is covered with either this black grating here or the top of the window. You want to make sure you've got a full view. Now we've already worked out it's about all right there. And why do we put it on the passenger side, Tyler?
It's not in the driver's face.
It's not in the driver's face. And also my wife seems to be able to see way more. This is my joke, isn't it, Tyler? Apparently she can see things from the passenger side. I just can't see from the driver's seat. So I decided that was a better place to put it. Right then, I can't undo the clips, Tyler. See, that'll teach me to say bad things about my wife, won't it? It's karma, that is there, right there. She doesn't watch the videos, so we're all right. There we go. Right, so we have got to get this wire. So the module's going to sit in here, and there's space above and behind here. Although we'll probably put some Velcro. We're going to get this through towards there. So if I grab my flexi ruler, and then we should find that he will, with a little encouragement, pass through there. Look. So that's not going to be too hard, is it? Right, we're going to use our best taping skills here. And you want to get it sort of flush as we can, don't we? And give it a bit of a taper on that front edge so it hasn't got a. Oh, there we go. We'll see if we can do it like that, shall we? That's average taping, right? There we go. You can find his way out. And it might be better to do it towards the middle a bit, even if that's not where you're going to put because we've got some mounting points here, haven't we? So we've got to work out where we've got maximum. There you go. If that taping will last, it's not that fierce, is it? So now we have a lead ready for the camera. Right, so now what we've got to do is we've got to get this whole bundle of fun, not that bundle of fun, this whole bundle of fun, tidy. And what you want to be a little wary of is that this box here doesn't, because we can shove that anywhere behind up here, doesn't rattle around, because you're not going to want that. So you might want to wrap this in. I'm going to wrap that in, Tyler. We need something soft to wrap that in, but we don't really want anything too. Or we could just put someone suggested putting a Velcro sticky pad. Yeah. I think that's a better idea. You can stick one on the roof here and stick that on the roof also. So that's probably better than wrapping something around it. We don't want to, not that it's going to catch fire, but we don't want to sort of get it all wrapped up too neat and something. Right, let's chuck all that up in there then. It's like for the video today, we're not going to wrap it all up in. Okay. Right. So now we can then, let's plug it into this one first. I think that's probably wise, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, again, we don't want to bend any pins or do any damage here. Do it the right way up. So that little ribbed side goes down. Everyone's screaming at the camera. Simon! Right, and then we're ready to plug the second one in. Okay. And it should click. There you go. Right. And then we can position that in, get those, there we go. Get those wires out, especially those thin little wires there. I want them out the way. Right, is that all looking? And does this, do we need, what do you reckon we need to do with that one? We need to tuck that away a bit as well, don't we? I think there's plenty of room there. Right, we're happy with all that. Yeah. Final inspection. Okay. Right, we're all clear. We're not going to trap anything. And then that should. There you go. Give it a little pop there. Right, so we've got power to our dash cam. Let's get it all. We'll get it all set up first. Right, and where's the plug on that one? There you go. Oh, I got it the wrong way. There you go. That's that, and that goes on that little popper there. And that pops on, and we can feed a bit of that back in there if you want it super neat. Tuck that under there. Right. There we go. And that's out of the way. It's not going to distract you from the view. Now, as I recall, the lights were quite bright on when we put this on the Defender. A little top tip here. I put a little bit of black insulating tape on the Defender, and you could still see it through the insulating tape. It was quite fierce, that light. But if you find that light distracting, you could cover that with a bit of tape. Right, we are ready to power up, aren't we? Right, I'll go and reconnect the battery and let's see what happens. Right, before we have a look at the app, I'll get that going. A couple of points to note. One is, if you have been playing with the center console, it's very easy to disable your interior lights. So if you press and hold on the dashboard, which way we going, it will come up with interior lights off. And you'll think, and then the interior lights won't work when you open the doors. And just to re-enable them, just press and hold that, and it will come up on the dash. There you go, it'll give you a flash, and it says interior lights auto. So just in case you think you've done some damage there. Now, the other thing that could go wrong, there are two supplies there. The yellow wire, which is your battery positive, if something is detected over current on that, the car will just isolate that power supply. And it will reactivate when you do an ignition cycle. So you have to close the car and then reignition cycle. Now, and your key fob might not work on that one. That's right, because when it takes that circuit out, it also takes your keyless entry module down. So, but don't panic. It will reset when you do an ignition cycle, which is good. The car's protecting itself. The other one, the green wire, is the one that comes on with ignition, although it actually comes on when you open the doors. It's slightly ahead of you on that cycle, and that is linked to fuse 57, which is in the fuse box behind here. But hopefully none of those problems will occur. Right, so there we go. So we've got that. We've got the dash. Now, have we added this one, Tyler? Is this one of the ones I've already got paired? Which one do they think it is? I think it's.
Yeah, I think it might be that one.
Right then, the stick.
Yeah, I need to help the stick.
Stick. Okay, right. So here we go. So done. Can we give us live view? Take a picture, live view. And this is what I recommend you do. Rotate to fill the screen. We will do that. There we go. And that is the view. Now you can see what I mean, because if you look on the side here, you can sort of already see the black plastic of the side view mirror. So arguably we might have gone a little bit. It's a bit laggy, but you might want to have gone a little bit further over to the other side. So just check before you stick that mount on. Just check you've got it in a good place. But there you go. That's your dash cam, and that will record and do all dash cam trickery. I hope that helps you with your dash cam install on your Range Rover Evoque. Good luck.